everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Unrealistic Box, where we have realistic discussions about unrealistic dreams. Today, we have with us my big brother, Sebastian Lozano. He will be talking to us today about his investment journey with cryptocurrency and stockbroking and trading. Yes, so Sebastian, welcome.
Yes, thank you for having me once again. Thank you. And I love what you guys are doing. I love the first episode, and congratulations on getting started and being able to create this lane, a much needed conversation.
Thank you so much. So we're going to ask you, introduce yourself to our listening audience and to also tell us something that no one knows about you.
Okay, sure. Yeah, so I'm, as mentioned, Sebastian Lozano, and I am Mexican and Haitian descent. I am a father, a husband, father of two beautiful girls, Malia and Milana, and I am also an investor. And it's something that I just want to be able to share, some of the things I learned throughout the process, and of course, also to be able to tie everything back to the Word as well, as far as the Bible, and see how everything kind of connects in the greater picture.
Yes. Okay, great. All right, so let us talk about how you got into cryptocurrency or investment.
Yeah, so it's interesting because one of my friends, Donald, he told me about investing. And I knew nothing about investing or stock market or cryptocurrency, and I was skeptical. I'm like, I'm not interested in it because I wasn't aware. I didn't understand it, and I guess I was kind of afraid of getting into something that I don't know or that I don't understand, and just losing money. But based on his description of it and just explaining everything to me, it made it easy to understand, and also piqued my interest to want to learn even more. I wanted to learn even more and better understand how this works, so that I can be able to make wise investments and allow my money to work for me.
So what was the turning point for you? What advice did he give you that convinced you that yes, trading is something that I can do? It's a lucrative venture that I think I can manage. So what was that turning point in the conversation?
I would say that once he showed me his actual, just examples of investing into this company, putting money into this company, and reason why putting the money into this company, and then being able to see how the money grows, his investment grows because the company is performing well, and actually, he told me about stocks. He didn't tell me about cryptocurrency, but he told me about stocks. I learned more about stocks, and then I actually, on my own, just wanted to be able to learn even more about cryptocurrency, since I believe that's something that's a part of the future, and it's a great tool to be able to use for investment and to just allow my money to work for me in these different avenues. Right.
So let us go back a little bit. Are you doing this full time now?
So I was doing it full time, and that's something that I can talk about as well. So I'm the type that I like to go all in. So whatever I do, and I know that you're the same, Kim. So I ended up quitting my job, and I did cryptocurrency full time as far as investing and trading, and it went exceptionally well. All glory to God for a good 5 to 6 months. But then when it wasn't, it just crashed and burned, and I wasn't prepared for it. Everything was going good, and I just was enjoying the benefits. But when it went bad, it just really messed me up, and I wasn't prepared for it. And on top of that, it took a toll on my marriage, and just a combination of things. I was a leader of the young adult ministry. I had to step down because it's too overwhelming in the negative impacts that it had on everything. So right now, I'm actually part-time investor, and I'm working. I have a job. I'm working at a medical insurance company. Oh, wow. And that's something separate. So that's something that I still believe in, being able to invest and long term versus short term, and that's something that my focus is as of right now.
You had said that it had affected you in a emotional state, in an emotional way. Do you find yourself better, managing the downturns of investing, or how do you manage when it is not, going your way?
So it definitely impacted just the way that I see the investments and everything. I'm actually grateful for everything, the way that it happened. Losing so much money and not actually having a plan B as far as being able to ensure that I can still be able to move forward, because I just jumped in.
Yeah.
I did everything. It was going well, and then when it wasn't going well, it was a mess. It was a mess. So as far as my story and my journey, it's not about how to get rich or how to get wealthy, but just being able to learn the more important questions that we should ask, the more important things that we should look at when it comes down to investing, and being able to work towards generational wealth.
Yeah.
And that's something that I think is important that we talk about, because if I come on here and say, I'm going to teach you how to get rich in 3 days or 1 week or 1 month, that's not, you don't want to listen to anybody that gives you a timeline and says, you're going to be rich in 1 month, or you're going to be rich if you do these 3 simple steps.
Right.
And now principles are important, but if you're guaranteeing that this is going to happen, there's no guarantee. You can't do that. Right. But there's much to learn.
That is so true. So how hard was it? Because you mentioned before that you were working, you were fully employed, and how hard was it for you to just leave your job and went all into cryptocurrency and in trading full time? What was your mindset behind all of that?
Yeah, so it was, I would say it was kind of a little scary, the questions of what happens if it doesn't work. And, those things came up. I have moments of fearlessness where I just do things. But when I had that moment where I was like, that's it, I'm done with this. I'm going full steam ahead, and I'm doing this, and I'm trusting God that He will help me, that I'll be able to prosper. And that's exactly what happened. But I just didn't expect it to crash and burn. But I'm thankful for the crashing and burning, because I now I see money and I see my time and just investments differently, because it's not only about what goes well, especially in a short period of time, but being able to plan long term and being able to look forward to the making the right investments that end up rewarding over a longer period of time versus a shorter period of time.
Yes. How did it affect your faith? Was it a positive or negative impact?
So naturally, when everything was not working and I lost so much money, of course I'm asking God why.
Yes.
Why did I have to lose so much money? Why? And on top of that, I mean, just to give some more background information, it's a combination of things that happen in the same period of time. So my finances were just terrible. My marriage was in a bad place. My family they were all sick with COVID. And at the same time that this is happening. And it was just, and then I had to step down with the ministry, and that hurt me as well, because I wanted to continue to serve, but I was like, I can't serve when my family is in disarray, my finances are in disarray, and so it had a tremendous impact, but for my good, because it's something that it's important for me to invest into my family. It's important to invest into and being able to understand the importance of being a good steward over the things that I have, and not focusing simply on the return and the profit.
All right. So if you were to do it all over again, what would you have done differently? What life lesson did you take away from the first experience in going all in?
If I was to do it differently, I wouldn't have quit my job. I just would have, just put more emphasis on cryptocurrency, but then still be able to have a job, a steady flow of income. Yes. But at the same time, I'm thankful everything happened the way it happened, because I did learn so much, and I've actually now I don't splurge as much as I did before. I don't spend as much as I did before, because it's like I have a new appreciation and value over the way that I use my resources, and that's something that if I had to do it again, of course, I would want to keep my job, but at the same time, I don't think I would have learned the same thing because I would still have that job to fall back to, the steady paycheck coming in. And I feel like I would just be comfortable and be okay with whatever happens because I'm secure, so to speak.
Okay. All right. So we are here talking about cryptocurrency, right? And for our listening audience, could you give them what is cryptocurrency basically? How can they use it? What platforms can they go on if they're interested in venturing into this new era where cryptocurrency is basically taking over? So could you just give our audience a little insight on that, please?
Oh, yes, absolutely. So cryptocurrency essentially is digital currency. And the beauty behind it is really the technology. The blockchain technology that's associated. I'm a type of person, and I know, Kim, that I value transparency and just being able to keep, like, everything is clear. There's no deception. There's no magic tricks, hidden walls, and all this stuff.
Yeah.
Blockchain technology and the fact that cryptocurrency is decentralized, meaning that there is no one person governing it. There is no one bank that's governing it. It's something that there's no one person that has all the power over one cryptocurrency. It's a community, or it's a combination of different networks that come together to be this cryptocurrency. So cryptocurrency being the actual currency that happens to be digital, that's used for paying for services or products, but also for investment as an investment vehicle, because it's all based on people's perception or understanding of what is valuable and what is not. So when it comes to regular currency, fiat currency, as it's known as, like US dollar and yen and euros, that's all based on the bank. That's all based on the government saying that this dollar, this yen is worth $1. So you accept it based on the government sharing that information with you. But with cryptocurrency, what makes it unique is that there's a limited amount of supply. So if a cryptocurrency has, let's say, 21 million tokens or coins that's available in circulation, there will never be more than that 21 million. It's always going to be 21 million. And if anything, it may be reduced because there's some cryptocurrencies that actually remove tokens or coins from circulation, which also increases the value.
It's relatively new. So how safe is cryptocurrency for those who might be wondering?
Excellent question. So cryptocurrency is very safe and secure in terms of, if you invest, if you invest into a cryptocurrency, it depending on what cryptocurrency you're investing, assuming that it's not a scam, it is very safe and secure, knowing that no one will be able to access or to take your investment away, especially if it's in a secure wallet. So that aspect of it's safe, but there are some risks associated with potential scams that are not legitimate. Cryptocurrencies, they pose themselves to be a legitimate cryptocurrency, and they're going to do all these things. But as soon as they reach a certain amount of money, they take all the money and then they just run with it. And that's something that obviously there's a risk involved. And that's why it's important to do your own research before investing into something and being able to determine if this is legitimate or not. So in that aspect, there's risk involved. But as far as if you invest and you have your cryptocurrency in your wallet, that's very unlikely that there will ever be anybody that can steal it or take it away from you. However, there are some risk involved when going to a cryptocurrency exchange, where it's things like Binance or Coinbase or Crypto.com, things where if their security network is compromised and they're hacked, there's a risk involved in that sense. But I would just recommend, whenever you buy a cryptocurrency, be able to transfer it to your digital wallet where it's secure and nobody can gain access to it. Nobody can steal it from you or anything. Right. And just being able to remember to keep your passwords and everything like that in a secure place where you can access, so you don't have to worry about losing it. Because that happened a lot of times where people, they bought cryptocurrency, they forgot about it, and they can't find the cryptocurrency that they bought years ago. So just make it something make sure you have that jotted down somewhere secure.
So Laura wants to start doing this, right? She's done some research and she knows what needs to be done. What is or she knows the background of cryptocurrency and she's willing to make, a calculated risk. What is the first thing she needs to do in terms of like downloading an app or registering? Do we have to register with a certain company in order to get an online wallet? What's one of the few first things that we have to do in order to get into cryptocurrency?
Yeah, so getting into cryptocurrency, it's important to find a decentralized exchange. But the challenging part is that there's different exchanges in different countries. There's a variety of different exchanges to be able to find. That's the first thing, is finding an exchange. But then the second thing is to be able to find a wallet, a digital wallet that can house your cryptocurrency. So that way you don't keep it on the exchange. You transfer it somewhere secure that only you can access, and you don't have to worry about losing.
Okay, so what are your top 3 recommendations for anybody that would like to start out in cryptocurrency?
Yeah, so when it comes to cryptocurrency and really anything, what I would recommend is to be slow to invest, meaning you want to do as much research and learn as much as you can about it to the point where you can almost teach it to somebody. Because that's really what my objective is not necessarily to get rich and to be wealthy, but to be able to have sustainable success and consistency, so that I can be able to teach others. And also being able to incorporate God's word into it, so it's not just strictly about financial success, but just really being able to incorporate the principles that are important to learn about being a good steward. So the 3 things that I would recommend is, first, you want to learn as much as you can, and of course, even myself, sometimes I feel like I get to the point where I learned everything there is to learn. I'm ready to jump in. And then I'm making mistakes, and I realize I didn't learn enough. So it's you want to be slow to invest, and you also want to be so first you want to learn as much as you can, and secondly, you want to have a plan that does not change, a plan that is solid. So if you say, I'm going to invest this money in this cryptocurrency when it goes to this price, then that's exactly what you have to do. You have to stick to that plan regardless of what happens. So if you see, oh, it's going up now. Oh, I need to buy right now. No, you should not be emotional. You should not get too eager to put your money towards something because it appears a certain way. But if you have your plan, once for example, if I'm looking at Cardano, which is one of the popular cryptocurrencies, and by the way, I'm not a financial advisor, so I'm not saying to invest in Cardano, but I'm just using this as an example. That if Cardano, for example, last year I believe Cardano was at like $3 for each token or each coin of Cardano, right? So $3. So I'm looking at that and I say, whenever Cardano hits $1, then I'm going to invest. And people are saying, no, it's not going to hit $1. It's going to keep going up. I said, look, my plan is when it hits $1, that's the moment. That's the moment for sure. I will invest X amount of money, and I will be satisfied with executing that plan. What ends up happening is a lot of people have the plan waiting for the $1, but then they see it goes to $4, and they're like, oh, I need to invest because it's going to keep going up, and they're not sticking to the plan. So Cardano happened to be, I think, as of right now, somewhere I would say maybe 70 cents, maybe 80 cents. So who would have known that it would drop from $3 to 77? I think it's like 77 cents now. Wow. I mean, who would have known that? But the fact that it hit $1, that was my optimal opportunity that I entered, and I was able to maximize on getting at a good deal. And yeah, of course, I mean, I couldn't have been able to predict that it would get to 70 cents or 77 cents. So I just set the goal at $1, hoping that I can enter at getting it a discount, so to speak, getting a discount and getting the maximum amount of tokens or coins that I can have for that amount of money that I invested at that moment in time.
Wow.
So learn as much as you can. Be slow to invest, not being so eager to just put all your money right away, and don't be emotional. And then also to be able to research as much as possible about the cryptocurrency, the people, the future. What purpose does this cryptocurrency serve? What problem is this cryptocurrency solving? What is making this cryptocurrency something that is very likely to still be around in the future? And just being able to answer all those questions, and then being able to move forward. And then, of course, being able to pray about everything that you do, and allow God to get the glory for all things that happen, good or bad.
Right. So what I'm hearing from you, Sebastian, and that advice that you're giving, one thing jumps out to me is you need to have discipline, because
absolutely
you can't trade with your emotions. You have to be persistent in researching and consistent in what you're doing. So how important is self-discipline when it comes to trading and investing?
Very, very important. And you know, Kim, I told you a couple of times, and I think it's kind of surprised you that, I would tell you that I had a plan, I didn't stick to the plan, and I lost money.
Yep.
And that's the thing is, we value transparency. So I'm not going to sit here and say I'm making all this money and you can be like me. I made plenty of mistakes, but that's actually a good thing, to be able to learn from those mistakes.
Yeah.
So it's important to have discipline regardless of what happens. And if you don't have discipline, then it's just going to be unruly. It's going to be out of control. There won't be any structure, and it's just more of gambling than anything. Mm-hmm. And you don't want to be gambling. This is not about gambling. This is not about this is not the casino. This is being able to make the most educated or wisest decisions based on the information, and being able to move forward and sticking to that plan.
I should mention for our local listeners here that the BOJ, that's the Bank of Jamaica, they have demonstrated the process. The team has demonstrated the process of minting digital currency. So they're interested in doing that. I believe they said that a total of $230 million in CBDC will be issued to deposit-taking institution and authorized payment service providers. So the disclaimer is, well, not disclaimer, but just the background is that CBDC is a digital form of central bank issued currency and therefore a legal tender. It is not to be confused with cryptocurrency, which is privately used, generally not backed by a central authority, and does not perform all the essential functions of money. So it's something similar. We're not fully into cryptocurrency yet in Jamaica, but the BOJ is coming with something. We have a story time segment, and I'll be giving you a background of the company, and I want you to guess which company it is. It's a tech company, so we can just narrow down the industry. It starts off by saying that the company was launched in 1999 by Mike Lazaridis and Doug Fegrin. The device made it possible for users to access their corporate email accounts from a Microsoft Exchange server while on the move. Its always-on technology was an instant hit with customers who were alerted when they received new email and didn't have to go in to retrieve it. It costs about $400 with a monthly subscription charge of $39.99. By 2000, the company was named Product of the Year by the online magazine InfoWorld. So it says in 2001, the company, which now had a signature thumb-controlled keyboard, was beginning to make an impression on the European market. Agreements with the telecommunications companies such as BT, Digifone, devices became available in the UK, Ireland, and Netherlands, respectively. Meanwhile, expansion in the home market continued at a fast pace, helped along by more distribution agreements likes of IBM. By the end of 2001, more than 12,000 organizations in the North America were using this product. By this point, RIM, which is Research in Motion, had sold over 200,000 devices and forged a partnership with AOL to provide its email service through IRM's handheld devices. By 2004, the company was back on course, and there were now 1.7 of these product subscribers worldwide, with 82% of these still based in North America. The company took steps to ramp up its international expansion plans. Europe was a particular focus, and in 2004 had secured deals with most of the major European networks, including Orange and BT, which doubled sales in the region. In 2007, RIM was named one of Canada's top 100 employers, as published in Maclean's Canada Leading the Business magazine. What's more, it was the only wireless technology company on the list. Meanwhile, this company continued to be synonymous with the concept of email on the go, and the device ability to synchronize with its owner's desktop proved a valuable feature. This year, I believe they announced that they'll be selling their patents for $600 million. So to another company, I don't remember the name of the company, but they'll be selling it. Do you have a guess as to which company it is?
That sounds like BlackBerry.
It is. Yeah. I found that very interesting. I remember when BBM came into. I never had my parents.
Never had one.
To Jamaica, it was the hottest thing. BBM Messenger is BBM or BBM? Man, it was very, very good. I'm very proud of the company. It and Nokia, I believe, are one of the best phone companies for me. But I'm just really proud of where they've gone over the years. They call Mike Lazaridis one of the best inventors that we have, because he did invent a lot. He invented, we were in a Research in Motion and some other stuff, but that's just a rundown of BlackBerry since 1994 till to now.
Wow, that's very interesting. And even as you mentioned, I remember BBM, and as at that time I think I was in high school, where everyone had a BlackBerry, and I was asking my parents to please give me a BlackBerry. I need one. And,
absolutely.
And they weren't helping me, so I had to figure out everything I could to work so hard to get a BlackBerry. I finally get the BlackBerry, and then I'm looking to use this feature BBM.
Yes.
And then all of a sudden, people are not even using it anymore.
So these phone upgrades is a lifestyle.
Yeah.
I'm not really that.
And that sings so much with how much we need to align with what is happening now.
Yeah.
So with cryptocurrency, right, we need to start researching and to do, the work to get accustomed to it, because it is the future. And whether or not you want to go there, it will happen.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It will happen. So you're definitely going to teach your children cryptocurrency?
Yeah. Oh yes, I've actually started teaching them. And because the thing is that so just so that we're you understand what I was doing and then what I'm doing now. Previously I was trading. I was a trader. I would trade daily, many times a day.
We're not coming into it totally blind. We were doing trading before cryptocurrency.
No.
Yeah, so no, I'm saying that I was trading cryptocurrency, but now I'm more of a long-term investor.
Oh, okay, I understand.
So now, instead of, because previously I was I had to study charts, I had to look, and another thing to keep in mind is that cryptocurrency or stocks or really anything is more about psychology than anything.
I hear that a lot.
Psychology. And the reason I say that is because, and a lot of times you may hear people mention crowd psychology or reading books on crowd psychology when it comes down to investing, because because I mean, it really is unfortunate, but people are putting their whole life savings, but that's not the wise thing to do, because in most cases, when it drives up so quickly, it comes plummeting down quickly as well, because the people the people that put the money that made that possible influenced everybody, and they seen, oh, wait, this is going up, we have to go in. And then as soon as it reaches, because they have a plan, they said, as soon as it reaches this point, I'm going to take my millions of dollars, and everybody else is going to be left hanging in, with, as they say, holding the bag, because you're basically holding on to the investment, hoping it goes back up, but it either never does, or it just takes a very long time to go back, and most people are not patient to wait.
Yeah.
And that's why you only want to invest where you can afford to lose. You may hear that a lot of times, because if I put my rent money in the investment and then I goes plumbing, and
be homeless.
now I put in my money and I have to take the little money I have there, and now I have to start asking people, help me please to pay my rent. I lost. And that's not what you want to do. You just put what you can afford to lose. If it goes down, okay, I'm going to wait, because in 2, maybe 3, maybe 4 years, or maybe shorter, it's going to go right back up, and you're going to be glad that you left it there, because it's really like a 3 to 4 year cycle. If you look at a lot of the charts, it goes it goes driving up every kind of like maybe 3 to 4 years. But most people are not that patient to wait 3 to 4 years for the investment to grow.
Yeah. Let us talk about digital marketing. Yes. I think you have a vast amount of knowledge to share with, people who would like to transition into cryptocurrency and investing. How are you preparing, or if you are willing at all, to compile the knowledge that you have into digital marketing?
Digital marketing.
Yes.
Well, I think that's definitely something it will be important, especially when, as I mentioned, I will be looking forward to teaching classes.
Yes. And
the main thing is that it's not about the money. I want to make it as affordable, almost free. I want it to be almost free of charge, because I don't want to make it discouraging for somebody that doesn't have the money to join the class, so that they have the opportunity to learn. So whenever that time comes, I do believe it's important to incorporate social media and being able to understand the importance of influence and how to reach the target audience, whoever you're targeting. So being able to understand the everything that comes into marketing and using these platforms to your advantage to reach people and to be able to allow them to share it and just make it easily accessible. I do think that that's important to look into, and how to maximize on the opportunity to get as many people involved with whatever it is that you're doing. So when it comes down to the time and the knowledge that's required to better understand digital marketing, that's something that is very important, definitely very important. It needs to be our priority. And it's not so much about just whatever service or product you have, but being able to also be exceptional at marketing yourself, your brand, and using all these different avenues, and being able to think ahead and be creative and outside the box when it comes down to getting as many people to see what you do and understand why it's important to join or to be a customer of whatever brand or company that you have.
Okay, all right. So let us talk about the disadvantages of online investing. Are there any disadvantages?
Yeah, there's disadvantages where you could just lose all your money it literally is very volatile. It's very volatile. So you can put in, let's say you put in $1,000 today. Yeah. At the end of the day, it could literally be $600. And that's US dollars. And that is crazy. But it can also be where it goes from $1,000 to $2,000. And now that's not that common, but it can happen. So anything can happen. But keep in mind, you don't lose until you take your money out. So even though you see that your investment has decreased, don't take it out, because once you take it out, you make it official that you lost the amount of money. But if it says $600 at the end of the day, and you say, oh, I have to take my money out, but then tomorrow it goes up to $1,500, oh, why did I take my money out? So it's just something that you want to be able to keep in mind, that it's not, you didn't lose anything until you take it out. So there's risk involved as far as losing money because you take your money out and it's at a reduced cost or reduced amount. but in some exchanges, it can be a concern when their security network is not as secure as it needs to be, because there's some chance that hackers can get into the actual decentralized exchanges. But that's something that is rare, but it's just something to keep in mind. And another risk is the scams. The scams, as far as people believing, oh, this cryptocurrency is the best, it's going to be great, I'm putting my life savings into it, and then it ends up being a fake cryptocurrency. It's not legitimate, and the people just ran off with the millions of dollars, and they're living on an island somewhere in Tahiti or something like that.
Mercy.
So that's the part that's unfortunate and the dark side, so to speak.
Well, is there anything that you change? I mean, using cryptocurrency, would you change any of your methods? Would you change anything in relation to learning it, or change how it is done? Just your personal opinion.
Well, I would say I love the aspect of cryptocurrency because it's decentralized, meaning it's not associated with the bank. Now, you were mentioning the Bank of Jamaica, and they're making a digital currency. I personally steer away from any banks trying to create something similar to cryptocurrency, because the banks, all they want is to be able to hold on to your money. Absolutely. And the crazy thing is that banks, they have your money, you put your money in the savings account, whatever, and they invest your money into cryptocurrency and make money, and then make millions. So the more money, they just want to have access to more money, more resources to invest. So any way they can do that, that's the objective. Right. But when it comes down to something that I would change, two things. I would say, personally, my strategy at first was to find new cryptocurrencies that were being formed, and being able to invest into it early. So that way I can, I got in early, and when it blows up and becomes a major success, then I end up being, a billionaire or something. Yeah, but that unfortunately, that strategy, I got burned many times because I invested into scams that were never going to be anything. And I thought they were going to be, and this is early on in my journey, I thought they were going to be something. And that's why I was investing in all to these new projects. And what most people don't realize is it's actually very easy to create cryptocurrency. If you wanted to create a project, if you wanted to create a website and say, oh, this cryptocurrency is going to change the world, and it's very easy to do all of that and make it look one way. And people are so eager to put their money towards something, especially if there's a chance that they can be millionaires, billionaires. And that's something that I would change. I wouldn't have used that strategy to invest into these things, because I would say 90% of them were scams. 90% of them. So I lost a lot in taking that route. Wow. But as far as what I would change about it, I would just hope that when it comes to the U.S. and the laws that they're looking to pass, and things that like the government is trying to get more involved in cryptocurrency and try to increase the taxes associated with cryptocurrency. So even for what most people don't realize is that let's say you make $1 million with cryptocurrency, and you're like, yes, I'm a millionaire. But then you realize that there's a 50% tax that you have to pay. So now you have the choice. You have the choice to say, I'm going to pay $500,000 to the government, and I'm going to be okay with my $500,000. Or you're going to say, man, I'm not paying the government, I'm keeping this money. And then you get into bigger problems when they're looking for you, because they're expecting that money. Right. And a normal person cannot pay $500,000. They're going to be, they're going to jail, or they're going to be in serious trouble. So it's important to be responsible and to be aware of the process when it comes down to taking your money out. Now it's taxable. But as long as you have your money in, it's not taxable. And there's different tax laws in different countries. So that's something to also very important to look into. So that way you're not surprised, because when you see that $1 million, you're like, yes, I'm a millionaire. Just be ready to pay the taxes that come along with it.
That's right. That's the papers of that.
All right. So we're going to take a break, and we are going to have a little fun with you now, Sebastian. We're going to give you a line from a song, and you're going to try to guess the title of the song.
And the artist.
Oh, wow. Okay.
All right.
So first one.
Is there a genre, or is it?
It's gospel edition.
Gospel.
Oh, gospel? Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, Yeah, we'll see. Because I don't know too many. Like, well, we'll see. All
right, no problem. We have sick and tired of my brothers killing each other. Sick and tired of daddies leaving babies with their mothers. To every man who wants to lay around and play around, yes, sir. Listen, partner, you be the man enough to stay around.
Wow. I don't have any idea. I don't know.
It's
what is it?
Kirk Franklin, Revolution. Take it out of my brothers killing each other. Sing it out.
Oh, yes. No, you have to say it like that next time. You have to Man, and that's another thing. My wife tells me all the time that oh, you're horrible with lyrics. You don't know the words of the song. I'm like, I'm saying the wrong words the whole song. I'm like, and she's like, you don't even know this song. Like,
I'm gonna try
all the time. But we'll go ahead. Just any gospel. Go ahead and try.
All right. The angels bow down at the thought of you. The darkness gives way to the light for you. The price that you paid gives us life brand new. Hosana forever, we worship you.
Oh, I know that one.
Oh, that's Hosana. Kirk.
Yeah.
You're
giving us a snippet of it.
Sing it for us.
Hosana. Hosana, we worship you. Something like that. Something like that.
Good job.
That was good.
All right, Kim.
All right, so it's my turn.
Yes.
You know I don't know any songs.
All right, so this one is
okay.
When I close my eyes and think of you and reminisce of all the things you do, I can't imagine my life without you. It's like paradise. Now I know that it's real. It's a mystery for someone to give their life just for me. What you did on Calvary makes me want to love you more.
Man, I know this song, but I don't know what.
I don't know that song.
I heard that. I heard that before.
It's kind of the artist.
What?
The artist.
Kirk Franklin.
Kirk Franklin. I don't really know any more Kirk Franklin.
She did on Calvary.
What you did?
Is it Imagine Me?
No.
Or, no. I know the song, but I just don't know the title. Oh, is that song that features Jay Moss, I think? Man, what is that?
I don't know. Come tell us.
Brighter Day.
Don't know that song.
Oh, Brighter Day, Brighter Day, Brighter Day.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. Give me what is the song.
You know Brighter Day.
Yeah. Yeah, Brighter Day, Brighter Day, Brighter Day. Yeah.
All things are possible when we believe. All chains are breakable when we receive. Yahweh, you keep your promises.
Well, like this. You can just do it like a little melody.
No,
it's not gyro.
No.
Okay.
Is that like Unbreakable or something like that?
No, this one is with Chandler and KJ Scriven.
My daddy taught me how to pray. Nope.
Man of your word.
Man of your word. Wow.
My Mavericks are.
That's all right.
It's okay.
Let's do one more and then we're doing. All right, I'm not going to say who.
All right.
But this guy is very popular too.
Okay.
OG.
All right.
Behold, he comes riding on the cloud, shining like the sun.
Behold, he comes. There's no God like Jehovah. What's your name? Is that a woman?
No.
It's not a woman?
No, it's a man.
Since when? These are the days
the
of
original.
Who sing that song then? Donnie?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Donnie and McClurkin.
Oh yeah.
Give us a taste.
Behold, he comes.
Oh, here comes. Shining on the clouds.
Okay.
Shining on the
Yeah. Oh, no.
I know the melody.
Oh, that was good. Okay. All right.
One last Donnie we'll have.
Okay.
When we lose our way, lead us to a place. Guide us with your grace.
The prayer.
Yes.
Donnie McClurkin and
Featuring
Cece.
Yolanda
Adams.
Nice.
Okay. There we go. Okay.
Yeah.
I pray you be our guide.
All right.
That's all you get to.
All right.
Nice.
That's all we need.
Nice.
All right, Sebastian. So, in winding down, we would like to know what book recommendations would you recommend to our listeners who are interested in cryptocurrency or interested in investing? 3 books, if any, in your quest, in researching cryptocurrency. What 3 books did you encounter that you would like to recommend to our listeners?
That's an excellent question. And I will say this, what I found least effective or least helpful was actually reading books about cryptocurrency.
Yes.
I would say, I would say don't get the cryptocurrency books because it's not even helpful. You finish reading the whole book and it's like you still don't know anything.
What to do.
So that I don't like, and it just ends up being kind of different where it comes down to reading other books. As I mentioned, the crowd psychology. There's a book that is by it's called The Crowd, a Study of the Popular Mind, and really being able, and it's by Gustave Le Bon. I would recommend that's a great read, and it has nothing to do with investing or cryptocurrency. However, it helps you understand the people behind all the action that's taking place behind with cryptocurrency. As far as you see the prices going up, well, why is the price going up? Why are people just like flocking to this thing and putting all their money towards it, and just being able to understand the why, that people will, and it's funny because I get text messages that people say, oh, you got to invest in this, it's going up. If something is going up, you just look at it. You don't invest, because you want to wait until it goes to a certain low point. Yeah, and if it's not at that low point, correct. But the discipline required to wait. Right. I had to wait like a year before I got into Cardano. I had it on my watch list. I'm just watching it. Wait. As soon as I get a notification, $1. Okay, perfect. Entering. And it went down. It went down, but it's okay because I'm not thinking short term anymore. Right. Before I was thinking short term, I'm thinking long term, 5 years, 10 years. And that's okay because I'm not in a rush to get to my destination. I'm enjoying the journey. So I would say that's one book. I read this book called Abide in Christ by Andrew Murray. And it just really was extremely helpful for me to realize how everything that I try to do, whether it's cryptocurrency, investing, being a father, being a husband, all these things are impossible for me to do on my own strength, my own intelligence. But if I would just continue to abide in Christ and trust God and allow Him to guide my steps and to learn the lessons that need to be learned, and knowing that God is good and that everything is going to happen for my good and for the good of those around me, then it ends up being extremely helpful in the way that I invest, in the way that I just do anything. So I would recommend that book as well.
Okay. Sebastian, we'd like to thank you for coming.
Oh yes, of course.
We thank you for coming and sharing your wealth of knowledge with us. We're gonna ask you, in keeping with the theme of the unrealistic box, we would like to ask, what unrealistic dreams do you have and you like to achieve before the end of life?
Well, I would say the what would be considered unrealistic is being able to do all the things that I'm setting out to do. So, for example, to be able to teach cryptocurrency to any and everybody that's willing to join and to understand how to invest, but also understanding the why and being able to just be equipped with all the knowledge necessary to make sound investments, but also being able to get the bigger picture, understand and realizing that it's not just about the money, it's not just about this. There's more to it. How it's so important to love God and to love our neighbor as well. But when it comes down to the classes that I know that I'll be teaching in the future, whenever we get to that point, I I'm going to be a missionary pilot, and I look forward to being able to just use my gifts to travel to different places teach, to spread the gospel, and to also be able to bring resources, whether it's medical supplies, food, and of course the gospel to many nations. That may seem unrealistic, or how can somebody be a missionary pilot with a career, with a family, and but that's something that I do see. I need to make it a priority, because it's something that's important to me. It's important to our being a Christian. It's not just our salvation, but the salvation of others as well. And so any way I can help to do that, that seems unrealistic or impossible at the moment, because first of all, I'm not a pilot. I'm not a pilot. I'm not wealthy or rich because of cryptocurrency, but I'm getting there as far as being able to make the right decisions and just having faith that God has blessed me to use my resources appropriately, and just being patient to see the money multiply over time, and just all these things that are not yet, but I look forward to being able to see happen in the future, and just all for God's glory.
Amen. All right, so in closing, I would like for you to tell your loved ones, your family, your friends, or anyone that you'd like to give a shout out to, just a message of love, of courage, of inspiration to them at this time.
All right. Yes. So first of all, I got my wife, Melissa. Thank you so much for supporting me and for still being by my side. She had many reasons to leave me, but she did not, and she's still by my side. She's still supportive, and yeah, she told me not to quit my job, but that's okay. We went through the process, and everything still worked out, and we're in a better place now, and we're still working towards where we want to be. But I just thank you so much for being my rib, my best friend, and for being an amazing mother to our children. Also, just my daughters, Malia and Milana. I'm thankful that for them as well, and my parents as well. They were extremely supportive through the journey, and everything that they've done for me. So I'm just thankful for everybody that's a part of my life, my family and friends.
Thank you so much. I love that. Shout out to them as well.
Shout out to Melissa, Milana, and Malia.
Yes. Thank you everyone for listening to our podcast. This is the end of a beautiful and interesting conversation of life, making decisions, having support in your life, cryptocurrency, and everything good. I really hope that you learned something. Follow us on all platforms, Twitter, YouTube, and Instagram. Also TikTok. We'll be sharing some videos, some clips from all events. Tune in, live your own dream, and be kind.